Hope you guys are still up with us. It has been fire. We have gotten a hint of what we need to do if you're a workaholic, how to get you some stress. That yes, she vacation. I am definitely going to be on the she vacay. But for those that don't know me, I am Makisha Shelton Mayella. I am the founder of More Motherland series, which is a explorational and educational material that explores the African heritage. Uh, for those that are jumping in, if you want to learn more about that, you can go to bit.ly/more motherland in all caps. So, why does this qualify me? How does this qualify me? Why did I make this series? So I am a mother of a African child, and I wanted to make sure that he was uh, secure with who he was, how he was, and so he can show up in this world. So that's why the series was created. Tonight I'll be talking about our hidden heritage and why it's important, and more importantly, um, why should you know it? Why is it important to know your heritage? And it's important to know where you come from, to know who you are. Most of us have businesses and we're not stepping out and getting to the level that we need to be. And part of it is because we don't know who we are. We have to have a feeling of connection, being rooted, being having something that's bigger than ourselves. So how do we do that? You must first understand the place that you come from, Africa. So let me take you on a journey.
Share your screen.
Keisha.
Is that low, guys? I might need to crank up my volume on this side.
You need to share your
Share
screen.
your screen.
Okay, 1 second. You gotta love technology. 1 second, guys. Let me bring up the Zoom. It doesn't look like I have host controls because it's not letting me share. Option to share.
All right, let me remove them and give them back to you.
Okay.
Because on this end, you have them.
Okay. I click on more and
Click on share screen. You have a share screen button at the bottom.
okay. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Share screen. I'm sharing. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Here we go. Journey is a little longer than it takes. That sometimes, we have to travel a little longer to get there. But enjoy this journey.
The Great Kings and Queens of Africa is presented by Anheuser-Busch to honor and preserve a part of the rich and proud African culture and to cultivate a deeper understanding of the many contributions that history has made to the world. Alfonso I was the first ruler to modernize Black Africa on a grand scale. He encouraged his people to learn Christianity and new skills in masonry, carpentry, and agriculture. Alfonso streamlined politics, established modern schools, and later became the first ruler to resist the slave trade. Promoting industry and agriculture, Hatshepsut may be the greatest female Egyptian ruler of all time. As the first woman in recorded history to preside over a nation, Hatshepsut cast aside the theory of male supremacy. Her spirited defiance of male dominance for 30 years endured to the very end, as evidenced by the discovery of her tomb in the Valley of the Kings. When Sunny Ali Burr came to power, Songhai was a small kingdom in the western Sudan. With a ferocious force, the warrior king won battle after battle, routing marauding nomads, seizing trade routes, and ever-expanding his domain. He captured Timbuktu, bringing into the Songhai Empire a major center of commerce, culture, and Muslim scholarship. His greatness is still legendary among the Songhai people today. Askia the Great was a fair and deeply religious man who at times fought established tradition to rule in the best interest of his people. A devout Muslim, he ruled Songhai strictly according to Islamic law. Askia Muhammad Touré united the entire central region of western Sudan with a government that is still revered today. A wise and beautiful woman from Nubia so captured the heart of the pharaoh she changed the course of history. Ties, beauty, intellect, and will so took Pharaoh Amenhotep III. He defied his nation's priest and custom by proclaiming this commoner his great royal spouse. Amenhotep declared that, as he had treated her in life, so should she be depicted in death as his equal. And so the colossal sculpture ordered for their temple thus portrays them as a pair of majestic monarchs, both proud, both noble, both serene. A flamboyant leader and world figure, Mansa managed vast resources to benefit his entire kingdom. In 1324, he led a holy pilgrimage of 72,000 people from Timbuktu to Mecca, over 6,000 miles. So spectacular was this event that Mansa Musa won international prestige for Mali as one of the world's largest and wealthiest empires. A strong leader and military innovator, Shaka is noted for revolutionizing Bantu warfare through standardized weapons and special tactics. Many enemies would flee at the mere sight of Shaka's troops. With cunning and confidence as his tools, Shaka united all tribes in South Africa against colonial rule. Hundreds of years, Nubia and Egypt had been at war, but Nefertari's marriage to King Ramesses II of Egypt brought the fighting to an end. Marriage began as strictly a political move. Later grew into one of the greatest royal love affairs in history. The temple which Ramesses built for her at Abu Saber is one of the largest and most beautiful structures ever built to honor a wife and to celebrate peace. One of the greatest monarchs of the Congo, King Shamba, had no greater desire than to preserve the peace. He designed an extremely democratic government featuring a system of checks and balances that represented all Bushongo people. Also, Shamba promoted the arts and crafts to the highest level during his reign. Regarded as one of the greatest generals of all time, Hannibal and his powerful African armies came close to defeating the mighty Roman Empire. His audacious moves and tactics have been studied and successfully imitated as recently as in World War II. genius of Hannibal brought Carthage great prosperity and prestige. The identity of the Queen of Sheba has long been debated, but indications are that she was the Ethiopian queen, Makeda. According to legend, she was fascinated with the wisdom of the great King Solomon of Israel. Upon meeting, the king and queen were equally intrigued with one another. Fondness grew into love, and their union produced history's longest line of royalty descendants. Returning to Ethiopia, Makeda's influence transcends centuries as the Judeo-Christian tradition remains embedded in modern Ethiopia. Teaching a doctrine of love and peace, Akhenaten was the first ruler in recorded history to believe in the concept of one God. He and his wife, Queen Nefertiti, changed Egyptian culture so radically that their influence was felt centuries later through more natural visual art styles and a fuller, warmer language for poetry, songs, and storytelling. At the age of 16, this great Nubian king led his armies against the invading Assyrians in defense of his ally Israel. He earned him a place in the Bible in the books of Isaiah and 2 Kings. Despite continuous warfare, Taharqa was able to build overwhelming projects throughout his empire, including a temple with carved images over 100 feet high. The Egyptian queen ascended to power at the age of 17 to become one of Africa's greatest female rulers. Intelligent and witty, her graceful nature and stunning personality were valuable diplomatic attributes. Striving to elevate Egypt to world supremacy, Cleopatra persuaded Julius Caesar and Mark Antony to renounce their Roman allegiances to fight on behalf of Egypt. Each, however, met his death before Cleopatra's dreams of conquest were realized. Disheartened, Cleopatra pressed an axe to her breast, ending the life of the world's most celebrated African queen. Mose Tutu was the founder and the first king of the Asante nation in what is now Ghana. He was able to convince a half a dozen suspicious chiefs to join their states under his leadership. According to legend, this occurred when the golden stool descended from heaven and came to rest on Osei Tutu's knees, signifying his choice by the gods. The kingdom would endure for 2 centuries. Menelik was the overshadowing figure of his time in Africa. He converted a group of independent kingdoms into the strong, stable empire known as the United States of Abyssinia, or Ethiopia. Resisting European colonization and uniting the opposing kingdoms made him one of the great statesmen of African history. Though dead for nearly 100 years, Nihanda remains what she was when alive, the single most important person in the modern history of Zimbabwe. When English settlers invaded in 1896, Nihanda and other leaders declared war. At first, they achieved great success, but as supplies ran short, so did battlefield victories. Nihanda was eventually captured and executed. Although gone, she was not forgotten, and is still referred to as Mbayu, grandmother, Nihanda, by Zimbabwean patriots. Khama distinguished his reign by extracting technological innovations from the Europeans while resisting their attempts to colonize the Kwana land. Advancements included the building of schools, scientific cattle breeding, and a police corps which practically eliminated crime. In 1875, Khama appealed to Queen Victoria of England to protest English settlement in his country. The English honored Khama and his call for continued freedom for the Kwana land. For half a century, the Basutu people were ruled by the wise and just founder of their nation, King Mosweswe. The Basutu had to fight for their survival against plundering Africans, European colonialists, and particularly the Boers. As the relentless Boers were about to annihilate the Basutos, Mosweswe persuaded the British to make Masutuland a protectorate, a diplomatic coup that helped to assure his nation's survival and to assure Mosweswe a place in African history. Nzinga of Angola was an astute diplomat and an excellent military leader. To arrest the swelling influx of slave-hunting Portuguese, she waged war for nearly 30 years. In because her quest for freedom and relentless drive to bring peace for her people, Nzinga remains a glimmering symbol of inspiration.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed that journey. Let me go back to my presentation. We know a lot about the Shaka Zulu and Nefertiti as mystical and not so much as connected and a part of us. Um, so did you guys learn anything from that? At least one thing? If you did learn one thing that you didn't know, put a one in the chat. I see we have some ones coming in. See, Queens, we've been teaching nations for centuries, but because we were brought here, we lost a lot. We lost our heritage, we lost our culture, we lost our identity. So it's time to bring partnership through our culture. And I'm asking you all to partner with me. So, how many of you would like to partner with me to bring back our culture and participate in this mainstream culture that we have? If you would like to participate to bring it back, I want you to put me in the chat. So you may be asking yourself, well, how do I participate? What does that look like? Well, there's three ways you can participate. You can become a affiliate of the More Motherland subscription box, which is a box for children that gives them a monthly education about each country throughout the continent for a year. You also can participate in my 12-week course to learn more about our heritage. And you also can become a affiliate for the subscription boxes. Um, does anyone have any questions about that? If you need more information, you can go to bit.ly, More Motherland. Any questions? All right. Well, again, if you would like,
Questions in the chat, Ms. Makisha.
okay. Tell me what. Let me get out my. I can't see the questions. Let me go back out of here.
I see a lot of comments. You have interesting, a lot of it was very interesting. That was a very interesting presentation. I'd love to know more.
Yes, that was interesting. And one of the things that I noticed, and I don't know if anybody else noticed this or not, but that lady, the first lady on the screen, she looked like you, Makisha. She favors you.
Really did.
I was
I
thinking,
did
okay.
notice that.
She did.
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
I thought it was kind of like I thought she did it on purpose.
I did too.
And then
I did
It was
not.
her.
That's my ancestry just coming through.
Yes.
Absolutely. Does anyone have any questions for Makisha? We dropped her link. We put her link in the chat.
Mhm.
Go bit.ly/more motherland, because there's a lot more for us to learn about our heritage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I need to learn more about my heritage.
Yeah, for real. I
Mhm.
agree.
Mhm.
We need to be teaching
And
our
the
children
kids.
more about our heritage as well.
And the kids. Mm-hmm.
Makisha,
think-
talk a little bit more about your box that you have for the kids, your subscription box for the children.
So the box, you can see some of the content on bit.ly, More Motherland, and it's all caps. But with the box, you get a book of one of the countries, and it tells you about government, it tells you about the cultures, the languages, the food, even some animals. So they get a book, they get a coloring book, They get some activities to work through, worksheets, along with some dynamic 3D jigsaw puzzles. They also get kids like stickers and tattoos, some cool stickers and tattoos to do. So each month they get, like I said, a different country and a book to a book and a coloring book to go with that, and it just gives them a broader view instead of the post Atlantic slave that we were slaves, and not more about the first person that was the engineer was someone that looked like you. First, I'm sorry. I thought I heard someone say something. Um, and then as well as NASA, they never talk about NASA in Africa. They have projects. One of the largest entertainment industries right now is in Nigeria. They call it Dollywood. Liberia was made, it was founded by a free Black American slave that went there. So, Liberia, if you look at the flag, it's the United States, it's similar to the United States flag because he came from the United States and it was a place for us that were free to be there. So it's a lot of little things. As I was discovering and making and deriving all the information to put in this, I learned so much. It's so much out there that we don't know about, that the school doesn't teach. And I just wanted to make sure not only my child, but all the little beautiful babies that are out there that want to know that it's more than just 400 years of slave. And while I think Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, all of that is very good. That's very good. But we also are connected to something even greater before that. And we aren't taught the before that. So is there any questions?
I don't see any questions anywhere.
Okay, well, I hope I didn't blow your mind. I hope this was amazing. And let me say on all for all the panelists, that she, Keisha, and Chiquita, I am a product of Chiquita. I am in the class. She is the bomb.com. She is getting my retirement together. So ladies, if you have not gotten a ticket yet, you need to get here and get these replays so you can listen to what was before and catch up with what's going on tomorrow, because all of it is so critical and essential to our well-being. It is totally the Total Woman Summit. That's all I have, ladies.
That is
In
awesome.
the
That is
chat,
awesome.
in the chat, Vicky says she's very interested in your box for her grandson, and she says I work with a Liberian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So everybody is very interested in what you have to offer.
Well, you guys can head over to bit.ly, more motherland, all caps.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like we're wrapping this road show up for tonight, ladies.
That's it. That's it. Now we have 2 power-packed sessions tomorrow, 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. You don't want to miss it. Go to bit.ly total woman 21. That's bit.ly/total woman 21. Secure your ticket. You don't want to miss it. I'm telling you, it is going to be amazing. Oh, amazing. Okay. Good night.
Wait a minute. The train rolls out in the morning. Tell them what
The
time the
train-
train rolls out. Don't get left behind.
The plane gonna take off what time in the morning?
The plane is gonna take off
8 o'clock in the morning. Am I correct?
Well, we're gonna take off at 7:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Central.
Being graced with the pink carpet or red carpet or whatever you want to call it. So that starts at 7:30. Meet us. Don't meet us here, as Miss Rose say, beat us here. And then we will be graced with our first speaker tentatively around 8 a.m. And then Central Standard Time. Yes, yes, yes. And then actually one of our panelists here tonight who's been with us on the red carpet. Miss Narissa is gonna talk tomorrow.
All
So
right, Miss
she has
Marissa.
her slot on tomorrow. Let me tell you, this has been, I mean, thus far, we still have 5 more sessions left. Let me tell you, by the end of this, if you're half a woman, a third of a woman, a fourth of a woman, you're gonna be a whole total woman when you get done.
Ooh.
All right.
I mean, let me tell you, what you have to do though is put this into action so you can absorb all this information and do nothing, and you'll still be that fourth, that third, that half. But if you put some things into action, you will be total by the time you get done with whatever process you go through. And for those of you out there in free world, you don't have your ticket, Monique said it. Go get your ticket, because prior to being graced with these wonderful panelists, you will hear from the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham herself. And she has been circling over Miss Ola's house, dropping bomb
That's
after
right.
bomb after bomb after
Definitely.
bomb.
Yes.
Let me tell you,
Still more to come.
you might can't see around Miss Ola, but she's sitting on a mound of ashes over there.
Yeah, I'm dusting them out of my face. I had to when we stopped, I had to clear my face off and then get all that smoke out the way, and then so I can get back on. It looks clear, but it's been going on. But
Let me tell you.
the
Go ahead,
first
Miss
step,
Ola.
the first step though, you all need to do is get the ticket.
Mhm.
And then you'll get all the information that you need. So just get the ticket and get in these ashes with us.
Yeah, it's not too late. 5 sessions left. You can still get in and get some good nuggets. So, like MJ said, you can be a whole woman at the end of this summit.
Yes.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
the
And then
replay.
you'll get replays. Yes, you will
Oh,
have
yes.
access to replays all the time. So let me tell you, you think that lady that's sitting over there on that graphic is sitting pretty behind Miss Rose. If you want to look like that, I suggest you go get that ticket at bit.ly/total woman 21. Come on over here in the boom boom room. I like to call Zoom the boom boom room. Session times, Miss Vicky. The red carpet is going to start at 7:30. That's going to be with Miss Rose, Miss Monique, and Miss Ola, and I will try to be here, and that is Central Standard Time. And then we're going to start speaking. Our first speaker should come on about 8 o'clock. And so we have 6 speakers tomorrow in the morning session. And then we have another evening session, 5.
We have 5 in the morning and 3 in the
Yes,
evening.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. See, it's past my bedtime. Past my
Me
bedtime.
too. Me too.
I've been up quite early.
Part of that Me
Okay.
Too movement.
Right. And then tomorrow evening, we have 2 speakers. So we've been getting out of here early at night, right? I mean, for Central Standard Time. Some people time it's a little later, but we love you. And thank you dearly for staying with us if you are in one of those late areas. And I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And so if there's not any more questions, we're going to hit the road so we can be up bright and early. Who's cooking breakfast in the morning?
I gotta make sure they
Nobody?
got enough gas for that plane tomorrow.
Latoya said Rose.
Natalia says I am. Natalia, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna see what I can do. See if I can get
Yeah.
up early enough and mix up some lumpy oatmeal
Yeah,
or
Rose,
something.
we all in for you.
That Rose, let me tell you, she'll run a show and have food cooking and turn the camera off and eat it.
And then have itis.
You saw that earlier, huh?
Oh, but ladies, we've enjoyed you. We're gonna meet Rose here in the morning with her breakfast. I think I'll have coffee. And just go get you a restful night. If you have any questions and you're part of the Total Women Success Facebook group, do drop the groups there. I mean, your questions in the group. We will be sure to try to answer them as quickly as possible. The replays for each session will usually take about 24 hours to post. So we'll try to have the replays posted within 24 hours of them being done. So if nothing else, we're gonna go. I'm gonna try to fly over there to Miss Ola and help. I'm gonna save her.
Yeah.
Good night,
Well, thank you.
everybody. Thank you
I-
so much for joining us. We
Good
appreciate
night.
it.
Yeah.
This was
Bye.
fun.
Everybody
See
have
you
a wonderful night. We'll see you
tomorrow.
tomorrow bright and early.
Bright and early.